till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up, and welcome back here to Pregaming Sports Money. We're ready to rock here Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. I hope you guys are fired up for this card tonight. It's a big one, big slate out there. We've got ourselves, 5 NBA games. We got ourselves, 14 NHL games, maybe 12 NHL games. A whole ton of college basketball and a live stream popping off tonight for the 9:30 game. We'll be over on Kick. We'll be collab streaming with Razor Sharp Picks. We'll be showing the game, breaking all the rules. But hey, rules are there to be broken. So let's go do that tonight, you guys. Going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get after it with you guys. Have a couple of cocktails and enjoy the turn to the weekend here. Thursday is the bridge to the weekend. We've got Thursday connected to Friday. Then we're at Saturday, and 9 a.m. we'll be popping off for the UFC live stream. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you're excited. We've been putting the work in, the research. We got First Strike out there last night. 3 of the 4 plays are plus money spots, and they are shrinking. So if you haven't done so already, please help us out. Hit that thumbs up, smash that like button on those videos. Does us a tremendous favor. It helps us keep growing this thing that we're doing. And somebody's calling. He must not. Welcome. Where the hell have they been in the last year and a half calling me at 6:05? Could you pick a worse time? Worst part is I got to put that back over here because I do get this for last minute updates on lineups. No. Oh, well, there's a good update too. All right. Let's get to work. I'm fired up and ready for this card tonight. And I think we got some really nice plus money spots to attack. We'll get into that momentarily. We did get back in the black, the green. Still not sure. I know it's not the red. I know that. Red is associated with the old stop sign. Do not pass. Stop. Green means go, and we got green last night. Big card, but look, we're grinders. We got to grind it back, get it back into our pockets. I did screw up on that NHL game. The Kings and the Panthers, it wasn't under. I should have stayed with the under. I don't know why I flipped it back. I know why I flipped it to the over. It was the back from Vegas theory. All right, so it's 48-14 now, right? I guess that's going to work, but it was a tremendous under night. Now, this should not come as a surprise to anybody. 2 weeks ago, I told you it is becoming under season in the NHL. I know a lot of you guys are kind of checking NHL out for the first time, or maybe you're into season 2 with it because we had such a tremendous year last year that you guys want to get in the game. Well, guess what? It's under season. I told you already. 2 weeks ago, I told you. Told everybody. Getting into them unders. And what happened last night? Every single game goes under the total. Surprised? No. And you shouldn't be either. We anticipate this kind of stuff. This is the experience, the expertise in the tools, technology, and expertise to make informed wagers and hopefully get to the window with a winner. Now, that being said, the NBA did not do us that well here. Let's go work down the card here. We'll just give it the rip real fast here. Under 5.5, easy, no sweat bet. 3-1 final for that Minnesota Wild. I wish they would have lost that game because I'd have been firing on them tonight. Now I'm not going to touch them. Now they're not making the card. But they won, so good for them. By the way, we talked about staying away from Toronto. Max Pacioretty coming back in the lineup. Pretty dialed in. Lost that over 5.5 in Florida. Catch the under 6 in that Pittsburgh-Utah game. So that was a nice little money maker out there. What else did we do? What else? NBA? NBA wasn't so good to us. We did get the under 205. The under 205.5 in the Charlotte ball. I'll tell you what. Highest total goes over, lowest total goes under. That thing sailed under. 205.5. They got 187 on the board. 18.5 points below. I mean, what a joke. It's a flat out joke. Flat out. And, oh, by the way, the Nets smashed first quarter, first half in full game. I mean, come on. We're dialed in there. Sadly, North Alabama busted me up. -3. They lost outright by 8. LSU, 12.5. They decided to lose by 13. Took the old hooker on that one. Scotty Barnes. Toronto absolutely annihilated them boys, but Scotty Barnes did not get his rebounds. That's because Scotty Barnes became the shooter last night. I don't know if you guys saw it. Scotty Barnes put up like a 25-pack. Maybe 27? Shit. I don't know. Cleveland, we were all over the Cavaliers, -6.5. They busted them boys up by a 20-pack. What else? Oh, the parlay, of course. Of course. How can you forget? +289. Christian Braun gets over 12.5 points. Voos gets over 9.5 rebounds, and we catch. The under 234 was a blowout to the over in Dallas. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So good with the bad, but man, our stable of, I got to come up with 2 more for the starting 5. I got to come up with 2 more for our starting 5. We got 3. I'm thinking on the fly. The problem that I have with DeAndre Ayton is he's not consistent enough. He's playing on a shit team on top of it. So it's tough for me to be involved with a DeAndre Ayton spot. I do like his rebounds. And I don't know if he'll make the starting 3 or starting 5. I'm open for suggestions. You guys can come up with some good trends on a couple of players that are running. That doesn't have to be trends. Just tell me who's in your starting 5. Who's in your starting 5 player props where you religiously play them every single time they're out there like we have done on this show? It's ridiculous. But they keep cashing. What are you going to do? I think the formula has to be pretty specific. I think what you have to do is you have to find a play-on spot for a player, like when we talked about Scotty Barnes, right? Or I'm sorry, let's go Voos. Voos with the giddy factor, right? Those are the kind of situations you want to look at. Player has to accept a separate role because of a player's injury status that has to transform what's going on out there in his lineup. We've been fortunate with it. We've had 3 strong cats going out there getting it for us on a regular. So would have been nice if Scotty could have gotten those rebounds last night. Wasn't in the cards. It's okay. It is okay. All right, so listen, let's get to some housekeeping. I got to shout out my man, Ramon Scott. He is running so hot. If you caught his EuroLeague action today, he was on Baskonia, +1.5, and I tailed that +1.5. Didn't look good in the first quarter, but they played 4 quarters for a reason. And they came up with the outright win, 88-86. So shout out to you, Ramon Scott. Also, the Steam underplay cash. You caught that Steam under, the morning Steam. Laid us out with some afternoon cash. That's the way we start the day. That's a big way to start the day as well. So very fired up about that. What else? Joe T, of course, #1 commenter. The polls are open. Make sure you guys do get in there and vote. We're going to have something different in there as we layer into the Super Bowl. We're going to pull it all back together right before the Super Bowl for a nice little show to go through some props, some sides, some angles, some totals. We got a bunch of fun things in the works for the Super Bowl. So make sure you do check out the community tab. Get in there and submit to the poll. Click the button. Whoever you like, whatever you like, however it's laid out there, whatever the questions are, we're going to aggregate them. And you guys know the deal. This community has been fire, and these polls have been money makers. So make sure you do take a time to do that. Check that out for us, as well as all the other content that's out there on the Sports Money YouTube page. And it's time. It's time to get to work. You guys know the deal here. It starts by simply smashing the thumbs up button. Look, I get it. Monday and Tuesday were bad. So I'll accept a mere 60 thumbs up yesterday. I got it. We're back in the W's tracks, man. Let's go. Do me a favor. Click that chat area, close the chat down, hit the thumbs up, then pop the chat back open. That's all you got to do. You click an X, you pop the thumbs up, then you pop back open in the chat and we can get to work. Okay. We're going to try this again. You guys know my deal. You know my rule. I don't like to get involved in the 6:30 spot because I feel like we're rushing. Disrupts the flow that we've developed with the show. And that's got to go. But man, how can we not take advantage of this spot here? Ohio State and Penn State, they got to pop off at 6:30. We got 2.5s. They moved up to 3.5s. And we got pretty split action. 56% of the bets and 52% of the cash on Ohio State. You know they love them road dogs. And we see the totals dropping. 74% of the bets and 75% of the cash are on the over. And it's gone down a point. What do we like to associate our unders to? Favorites. What do we want to stay away from? Public road dogs. We're starting to check some boxes. Starting to see it now. Let's go back and look at some recent performance. How about this? Ohio State, probably two of the biggest wins they've had all season long. At Purdue, 73-70. They were 9.5-point dogs. They get the outrider. Then they go out there and play Iowa. They're laying a 7-pack over there at Ohio State. They bust them up by 17 points. Big win number 2. Back-to-back big wins for Ohio State. And then let's take a peek at Penn State. Oh, season's on the line. Do or die. And they just come off of back-to-back road losses. Sitting with the stench and disgusting taste of a 76-75 loss to Iowa. Then they go back out there and they lose 76-72 to Michigan. And that's where we want to start. We're looking for a motivated team returning home. We're looking for a team that just played their lights out in Ohio State with 2 huge wins. Oh, and why not toss an Ofer in there as well? Ohio State 0-11. We're in the road dog roll of less than 5.5 points. Not only are they 0-11 against the spread, they've lost every one of those games by an average of 11 points a game. Penn State will pop our card off. We will disrupt the flow because we got to smack on this one here. Penn State starts in 14 minutes. Probably going to need the whole game. I love it. I think it's, I even like the first half. And it's an early start. What's that first half number? One and a halves and 2s. Let's take the full game. Let's just take the full game. We don't need to be greedy. Let's just take the full game and start the card off with a little Penn State action. And let's get back to the chat. I mentioned it. You guys know the deal. Pen and paper out. The best chat in the business assembles here. They've got their favorite bets. They've been working on them all day. They're here to share them with us so we can all get paid. And commenter number 1, Joe T coming in here, rocking with us on the Sharks and the Kraken. And the first period over 1.5 for Jover. Jover on and over. Go get him, Jover. Daddy Beats is in the house. Says, what's up? Joe T's first in line. And there we go. Daddy Beats says he live bet yesterday and hit Texas Tech moneyline, Virginia Tech, Virginia, American, VMI, George Washington, the Pacers, the Raptors, Army, Furman, Winthrop, Temple, and Bucknell. Jesus. For 23.01. Good for you, Daddy Beats, man. Woo! He's got Penn State -3. He's got Towson 2.5. Mercyhurst +2. New Mexico State +7. Nebraska +4 for 24.59. Took a 25% boost on top of that. I'll put that on the big screen for you. Let's go. He's ready to go. Gerald Jones is in the house. 3 wins, 0 losses. Best bets this week, Monday. Townsend's money line. Tuesday, Oregon State, Gonzaga over. Wednesday, Winthrop -7. And best bet, Jacksonville State -7. Jacksonville State -7. We'll keep our eyes on that. Gerald Jones, good luck to you, my friend. Daddy Beat says his best bet is Tulane +6.5. We will have to keep our eyes on that as well. Look at you guys, man. Fired up and ready to go to work. Love it. Nice job. Joe W's here. He's rocking and rolling. Nasty Nate says he cashed nice on the mistake parlay of the day. Oldie getting out there with us, ready to roll. Wine Time Sports is in the house. There's Keith. Each and every stride he's rocking with us here. He says, let's keep the money train rolling. He's got an NBA moneyline parlay with the Timberwolves and the Lakers. -120. And Daddy Beats is reminding everybody, smack that like button. Let's go. Nasty Nate. Celtics to win all 4 quarters yesterday was a +475. Celtics smashed. That was a gift. This year has been strange, to say the least. The Celtics, we know when to play them, we know when to fade them. Crazy. Did you see the NFL, by the way? NFL, Vegas, first losing month in over 12 seasons was the month of December. Slayed them Dragons out there in the desert. Shout out to Perky. Perky's rocking with us. It's Townsend to beat Delaware. And Nick Kern, Ohio State, 14 points plus Penn State, moneyline parlay. Nate's got the Celtics second quarter. KP over 2 and over 3s. Maybe KP's got to consider the starting 5. That's your starting 5. That's maybe your starting 5, Nasty Nate. I gotta come up with 2 more. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna come up with a 5-pack. T-Moss is in the house. He's ready to roll. Gerald Jones is looking for NCAA championship futures. I foolishly tossed out Tennessee the other day for a lengthy, long as my arm parlay. And then Tennessee went on a losing streak. So maybe I jinxed him. I don't know. Peter Grassi is here, ready to roll. Appreciate you rocking. Let's go. We got Gerald Jones's Alabama 13-1, Michigan State 30-1. I'll give it some thought. I will give it some thought. We will get one down there together. Irish Kings ready to roll. Let's go. Peter says, yeah, it was a 3 parlay NHL under. Nice job. Nice job. Mitch Morber's here. Says, already bet DeAndre Hunter over 2.5 threes and 4 plus 3s. I love it, man. Love seeing you guys with these ladder plays too. Huh? Doesn't it get exciting? Shout out to Randall Sheffield. Good to see you back, my friend. And he gifted a Sports Money membership. How about that? Shout out to you, Randall Sheffield. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Blessing our action. I will cheers you with this hefty rehydration packet. And then we will dehydrate tonight at 9:30. Mitch Morber likes Youngstown State's money line. Yeah, Monk was one of those guys I was thinking about, Rick J. I remember I tossed him off the other day because I was like, someone's got to score. And then he went off. Yeah, I'll give it some thought. Markel's here rocking with us. Damon Waring's in the house. He's ready to go. Mitch Morber says, shit, we killed yesterday in Champions League. The live show was great. It was fun, wasn't it? It was fun. It was a good time. Yeah, and look, we netted over. I mean, the spreadsheet we put out had over 5 units, but not to account for some of those live bets that were flying around out there too. I mean, that was a fun little show. Shout out to Trisha M's here. She's rocking with us. Philly Eagle Flyer says Habs and Kraken under 6.5 in a reg lay. Okay. Ron Young's ready to roll. Mitch Morber says smash that thumbs up button. Please do that, you guys. Take a second if you could for me. Damon Waring says Penn State -4.5. FanDuel has it at 2.5, dude. For what it's worth. If you can get a FanDuel. Remember, it's no longer FanDuel. That is our kiss of death. It is Fanatics. Fanatics has taken over the crown. I'll have to keep coming up with a weekly update for you guys on that, just so we can, see where it happens. I'm trying purposely not to let it affect my action, but it did affect one of my plays today because I saw Fanatics had a better number by almost a full point, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to play that. So we'll see. Damon Waring likes Nebraska plus the points tonight and the money line. Oregon tonight plus the points and the money line. I get down with that Oregon spot. Perky says Nick Kern, Penn State, 13 plus points, and Penn State money line plus 110. Bo Jackson's rocking here. What's up, Bo? It's good to see you, Bo. Thanks for coming back in. It's got the T-Wolves last night, a plus 162. Nice, man. Look at you guys. Stop, Geo. Stop, Geo's got the he's got the lotto ticket and a half out there. I sent you my lotto ticket. Barry, appreciate you rocking. Thomas Maggio's here, says Jazz outright. I agree. I think that's going to make the members late plays there. The silver and gold memberships. As a reminder, you guys, we do have some additional tiers. You guys have been asking for more plays outside of the shows that we have been on. And so we've got the silver and gold setup out there for just that. When we don't have shows on or we've got late action that becomes a buy sign, we want to make sure that we get that out to you guys in a uniform fashion. And that's what the silver and gold packages are designed for. We appreciate you guys. We are, of course, viewer supported. So taking the opportunity to upgrade your memberships would be significant. We appreciate you doing that. And we're going to turn it back to you guys with more winning bets. Shout out to Redbeard Barry's in the house. He's got Detroit Mercy plus 6.5. Joseph Alvarado's here rocking with us. Ramon Scott. He's running so hot. I gave you your shout out, Ramon. I got that Euro cash this afternoon, my friend. Basconia. It was Basconia, right? Plus 1.5. That's what I got. Sweaty. Shut the station play 211. Station play 211. Every time I see your name, it makes me just because of growing up, PlayStation. I always think PlayStation. I wonder if that's what it is associated with. Okay. Andrew G's here. Shout out to Andrew G rocking with us. Appreciate you coming through. Gerald Jones says JMU double cover. Rick J likes the Lakers first quarter minus 2.5. And Thomas Maggio says, this is 100. All right. I thought so, man. My eyes play the tricks on me. That's like the one guy that had you read this wrong or something like that. Or you wrong this read or whatever it was. I don't remember. But shout out to Old E, a member now for 5 months. So smash the like and subscribe, you dogs. Let's go. Shout out to Jay Peasy. He's rocking with us. What up, motherfuckers? I like the Wild, but the line keeps moving against them. Might say F it and bet him. Well, I got some bets. All right, so we got Penn State late in there. Penn State's going to start here in 5 minutes. 5 full minutes. All right, let's start with some hockey. I don't like to disrupt the process. The Capitals and the Senators are going to pop off here north of the border, and this will be the last game on the road for the Capitals. A nice little 5-game road trip under their belts, and they started pumping gas. They got Logan Thompson starting tonight. Unconfirmed, but first guy off the ice. And he's playing well. 2.12 goals against average, 92.7% save percentage. Anton Forsberg going in for the Senators. He is only 5-9-1 on the season. He does have a 2.73 goals against average. He is 89.6% saving. He does have 2 shutouts, which is even more problematic because he's still only at 89.6% saving. If he didn't have those 2 shutouts, what would he be? But the Senators have picked up back-to-back dubs. They just played this Capitals team. And if you'll recall, I believe the final score was 1-0 in overtime. Now we're looking at these 2 spots here, and, recent performance with Forsberg, 28 of 29 saves. It was a 2-1 win against the Maple Leafs. And that's how the Senators have been kind of battling here. They're not going to win these big score fest here. Team's getting it together. They're playing pretty well. But man, Capitals are firing 7-1 in their last 8. But you guys have heard me talk time and again about that 5. When we get to the 5, 5-5-5. It's tough to it's tough to win or lose more than 5 in a row. It's also difficult to be on that 5th game of the road trip. I was just talking to somebody about that spot with Ottawa, as a matter of fact, with their 9-game road trip. It wasn't. And we were laughing because everyone was fading Ottawa the first 3-4 games on that road trip before Christmas. There wasn't fade spot. Hockey players I was talking earlier today with our guy Gonzo. There's a little unknown secret Hockey players like to play on the road. They like to get out of Dodge. They like the camaraderie with the fellas. That's why you see the moms and dads trips. They do so well. They like being on the road. Get some breakup of scenery, and they're wined and dine like superstars with money in their pockets and their boys hanging out with them on the regular. That being said, what we've got going on in this spot here is certainly for me a fade of this Capitals. I know it's a little gutsy with a team that's 7-1, but this is that fifth game of the road trip, and then they go back home. And I can see them sort of taking their eye off the ball with this one. But the way I wanted to charge into this thing here is I want to parlay it. I want to make some money tonight. I want to get aggressive. I want to pop some bookies right in the face. I got the Senators here. When they're on a line that's less than a minus 150, they're 27-9-4 to the under. They've gone 9-1 in their last 10. That's a 75% trend that's on a 90% win streak right now. To the under. How about the Capitals? When the total's less than 6 or less, 57, 36, and 10 to the under. 57, 36, and 10 to the under. It's gone 10 straight games. 10-0. So I'm going to take my chance. Take my chance on this Ottawa team beating this Capitals team. Ultimately, for me, the 5.5, I know it's under season. We just talked about this. We saw every game go under yesterday. But for me, the justification behind this one isn't so much like, oh, you're chancing the par. To me, I expect my apprehension is the 5.5. I'd like to fire it just away at the 5.5, but if it gets to a 6 and I'm losing anyways, I might as well put plus 238 to it because I think at this 5-game spot, Ottawa's going to go out there and beat them. So that's why it's not a single play. That's why it's not just a 5.5. And I don't want to pay up for a 6. I just thought here's a spot for us with these big, strong trends to the unders. And knowing that these boys are going back home after this is a good opportunity. It's a good schedule spot for us to try to turn this one unit into almost 2.5. So the decision-making and the rationale behind the decision-making as we try to punch these bookies in the face. Violent. So violent. Islanders and the Flyers popping off next. Game number 2. Now, this is a spot that doesn't happen very often, and I'll explain it in a second. But we do have Sorokin going in goal, and they're going to Fedotov. Ivan Fedotov. Big tree fall heart. And we'we'll see how far this goes, but we've got the Islanders in this spot here, 17-14-4. 2.81 goals against average and 90.5% save percentage for Sorokin. I did mention the 5. 5. Tough to get to 5. Well, the Islanders got the 5. So they got themselves in this little 5-game winning streak. We look at kind of recent performance. 30 of 32 saves for Sorokin against the Colorado Avalanche. Not too bad. Look, talk about an uptick right now. 5-1 in his last 6 games at 94.4% save percentage. He's on fire. Team's playing well in front of him. He's doing it behind him. Everything's happening for this Islanders team right now. And then you're rolling over to Fedotov with his 3.22 goals against average and an 88% save percentage. 5-0 loss to the Devils. Now, that was expected loss. It was just a little too juicy. Expected loss. I mean, geez, the quick turnaround revenge angle. Money in the bank. Should have just dropped the hammer. Just should have said fuck it and swallowed a minus 180 and cracked him. But nonetheless, look, Ersson shit the bed. They had to put Fedotov in. That's a big concern for me because where is his headspace? He was sitting on the bench. Now he does come in and save 9 of 10 shots on that Devils game yesterday. So he's kind of like half rested. He's not really fully, sometimes you got to figure they take these guys, you guys expect him to open and close the door, right? He's there to toss the water bottles around and hand some towels out like the team managers. And then he gets called to go in, and now all of a sudden he was expecting to play today. He had to slip in there last night. Maybe it's a warm-up, maybe it's not. I think they get blasted either way here. This is an Islanders spot. When I mentioned this unique scenario, you don't really have it that often. But basically, let me see if I can paraphrase it here. When you have two shit teams playing each other, and a team that's on the road has a 5 or more game winning streak, the home team's in trouble. They're 201 and 419 over a 620 game sample size. 201 and 419. They're losing by a goal, so it should be a tight one. I mean, the puck line shows 368 and 252 in that spot. But what we have here is another little unique opportunity. Away favorites, less than or equal to a day's rest, facing an opponent on a back-to-back and playing their third game in 4 days. Away favorite coming in with rest against a team that's playing its third game in 4 days. Well, of course, the away favorite's dominating. 27-1. Goes all the way back to 2020. 27-1 in those spots here. We are going to eat the juice a little bit on this one. Shop around, do what you can do. I'm not going regulation, and I'll tell you what. I was just talking about this earlier. What are we doing when we're betting regulation? We're betting in case we lose. In case we lose, we want to keep the juice down. And then you end up losing. You're not betting to win. You're betting not to lose. Big difference. I'll swallow this minus 145. This is probably like the highest number I've given out on the show. I'm not proud about it. You want to take your minus one? It's fine. I'm going to go with 27-1. That's going to be my spot there. I'm going to take this Islanders team and hate juice. Unless you lose. And onward and upward. I had to double dip this next game. I had to. I was going to give this one out later tonight. But I'm giving it out right now. I don't care what the line's going to do. Matter of fact, we better get it now before the line does anything else wonky. We got a double dipper in this Sharks and Seattle Kraken game. Obviously, the Sharks are struggling at 15-32-6. Kraken aren't doing much better. Remember when I talked about teams that are built to play within the division? Or not. But when they play those teams in a repetitive fashion, you start to develop some trends. You start to develop some angles. You start to see who they really are. Now, Askarov will be starting for San Jose. That is a nice European hockey name. Yaroslav Askarov. 4-5-2, 2.8. You know, it almost doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Sharks are that bad. 2.87 goals against average, 90.5% save percentage. He did stop 29 of 30 shots against the Penguins. And that was that 2-1 win. We were on that under. Then I added the Sharks to it for a nice little plus, what was it, plus 350 or something like that? And what do we have? Well, Sharks stink. They had a 6-game losing streak going. They stopped it by winning against the Penguins. And Askarov played well. Joey Decord's going on the other side of things, 17-12-2. He's got a 2.52 goals against average and a 91.6% save percentage. See, he was doing this yesterday too. Seattle's not scoring. They're getting outscored 10. Well, it's not that they're not scoring, but 10-6, they got outscored their last 2 games. Decord, not playing terrible. 2.45 goals against average and a 91.6% save percentage is just about in line with his overall numbers with 2.52. But look. First of all, you are absolutely on drugs. If you're on drugs. You guys know what movie that's from? Come on, that's a freebie. All right. Listen, the Kraken are they started at minus 225. They're down to minus 187. How in the hell are you seeing anything out of Seattle that says you should be betting that kind of price tag? So herein lies the challenge. What are you going to do? We take him at minus 1 or take him on the regulation spot in case you lose? Well, now you're betting not to win. A couple spots I like for this game. A couple thoughts that I had when I was looking at it. I mean, look, teams are built to play within their divisions. What do the Kraken do at home against their division? Well, they lose. And they lose a lot. If you fade the Kraken at home against their division, they're 31-16. That's as simple as it gets. You stink at home against your division. You're not built, and this is because they drafted like complete idiots. Right after you get the blueprint for the Vegas Golden Knights showing you how to trade players, how to get going back and forth, all that other stuff, bartering system. They were bartering that. I mean, Vegas changed the way that teams should be expanding forever. They're making deals. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but you'll have to go back and see the deals that they were making. They had a protected list. And so they had some teams had to leave players unprotected. And so they were able to go negotiate with those teams and said, okay, listen, we know you've got a guy that you want to protect, you just can't. So we won't take him. But in turn, you're going to give us this. And so they used it as a negotiating lever, a leverage chip, if you will. Not Seattle. Seattle just went in there and was like, we'll take this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And they put a whole bunch of shit together. And what do you have? A big stinking pile of shit. And it's evidenced against their division. Because they're 31-16 if you fade them against the division. They're not scoring. So we'll take the under 6. Sharks aren't scoring either. Let's pump our brakes. Calabrini probably good for a goal. I'm no hero. I just take the shittiest teams with the best player and fire them in there for goal scorers. Someone's got to score, most likely. And I'm taking the Sharks. This is individual bets. I'll probably parlay them together anyways. But it's individual bets. 2 separate bets that I made here on these guys. If I parlay it, it'll probably be to add the Sharks plus 1.5 to the under 6.5. Just for a little bit of that insurance on the back end of it. Not in case I lose, just because we learned that last time with Carolina, we went the plus 1.5 with the total. And the money line straight up is the risk. Remember, I had that inverted the other day? We had the plus 1, I think it was Montreal. We had the plus 1.5 standalone, but then we had the money line and the under. I don't, you know what I'm saying. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down. I'm double dipping this game. I'm fading the Kraken. We're playing to win, baby. We're in the red zone. Hand us the ball. And we'll take a ball at 164 to give it a shot. You know it, dude. There he goes. Look, Calabrini's always ready to score a goal. Yeah, I wasn't even looking at the chat. If that's what you were laughing about, I was firing a subtle shot, but it wasn't at it wasn't at you guys. You guys are funny, man. Hit the pen at pregame and Penn's money line. That was sweet. Nice, dude. Philly Eagle Flyer says, I'm on the island here with the Kraken game under 5.5. First period under 1.5. You're not on the island, bro. Hey, I told you there's an auto fade. If you guys want you want the new auto fade? I was inverted. How'd you see him? We're inverted. 3 meters. All right. The auto fade is to take Columbus in the first period. I told you there's an auto fader out there. I found him. We faded that Calgary team total over the other day. Now you got that one. But that Columbus first period might be some action that I take a look at later on as well. So anyways, that's going to do it for us in the NHL. Man, we're only at the NHL? What's going on? Was it story time? What happened? Sorry, we'll move fast. We'll move through the rest of these games. Got a live stream tonight. Did you hear? You heard? Northeastern and Hampton. The battle of bottom feeders, I guess. Yeah, there's nothing too pretty about these teams. Let me pull up college basketball. Let's get some trends out there. Let's get some splits out there. Let's put it all together. I really like William and Mary, by the way. Green and gold, man. It's my squad. Haven't played them too much this year, surprisingly. UNC Wilmington, for anybody that's just rocking at home and not having a chance to look at it today, I don't know what the hell happened. It's a strong buy on Wilmington, and apparently big bettors crushed it, and they're scared. 30% of the bets and 61% of the cash on UNC Wilmington. The line went from minus 11.5 to 17.5 at 2 p.m., 4.5 hours ago. East time, 4.5 hours ago. The line was at 12.5. It took steam and then some. So I can't give that one to you guys. If you want to play it, go for it. My suggestion would be look for a live line. Look for that thing to be down around 12.5. You can catch a live line around 12.5 for that game. I would fire on that. Northeastern and Hampton spot I want to get involved with here, though. 55% of the bets and 68% of the cash are on Northeastern. Line hasn't moved. Total has moved up a point from 137.5 to 138.5. And we have 56% of the bets and 56% of the cash on the under. We have reverse line movement to the over. And where do we like to play when we've got overs? They're dogs. Dogs, not public road dogs. Home dogs. Overall, Hampton, they covered them. They're 4-2. On the road, Northeastern, 3-8-1 against the spread. Not good. In fact, you'll hear in a second, they travel like absolute shit. Remember last year when I went on that other show, called them nerds. Northeastern, nerds. You got nothing against being a nerd, but you got to carry like a 4.0 GPA before you can even consider lacing up the high tops. So now, when it comes to taking that extra time to practice your free throws, no. You're scrubbing your fucking science project because you're afraid if you fail, you're going to get kicked off the team and out of the school. Kicked out of school, work on my free throws. I better not get kicked out of school. My free throws can come later. That's Northeastern. And you got Hampton. Where are they coming off of? Back-to-back road losses. Sitting there with the stench of failure on their breath for the last 3 days. What can I say? How about this? Northeastern's lost 9 straight road games outright after a home loss. That team's bad, and they continue to play bad. And it doesn't translate well on the road whatsoever. Give me some Hampton. I'll take the 2.5. Take the 2.5 because the price tag justified it based on the nickel equation that we've talked about before. It does make sense to take the 2.5. It makes sense to take this team in the first half, too. This one does. We won't be greedy. We'll leave it there. Wow. I probably offended everybody with that breakdown. So I'm not sorry. They are who they are. I am who I am. I believe it. And if you're that bad on the road and it doesn't, what are we going to get, a miracle? It's 2.5. We always say the 2.5's the book don't know what to do. Probably better off taking the 2.5. We got another spot going on here. This one came straight from the respected big money better report, alert, notification. I don't know what you want to call it. I got to figure out. I should probably should put an official name on that tool. We use tools, technology, and expertise as we make informed betting decisions here. And that's very much one of the tools. And that tool is looking at this UT Arlington game. There it is. Against Southern Utah. Big reverse line movement. 72% of the bets, where are they? The public loves their road dogs. Man, 8.5. They got 59% of the cash, though. So therein lies that respected better scenario, 13% differential of bigger money coming in on UT Arlington. That kind of validates what that report was saying. The line's gone from 8.5 to 10.5. The total's not really moving. There's a couple of 147.5s out there, but it started at 146.5. It's got 81% of the bets on the under and 81% of the cash on the under. It hasn't really moved. So, we got 2 9 and 11 squads rolling out there, fighting each other, battling. Another situation. Southern Utah, no good on the road. They're no good at covering spreads either. They're just 1-4 in their last 5. They had 4 of their last 5 games at home. They had one little road spot in between all that home cooking. One little spot. That was at Seattle. So they had 2 home games. They go on the road and come back home for 2 games. And they got thumped. 75-52 at Seattle. But here's the sneaky little revenge angle. UT Arlington rolled into Southern Utah on January 11th, 19 nights ago. They lost 73-68. UT Arlington. We got a revenge spot. We got a team that's starting to cover some spreads, starting to pick up a little momentum. And furthermore, we got a team in in Southern Utah that's no good on the road. Lost 6 straight road games, getting busted up and bludgeoned. We got the sharp bettors coming in here with a 9.5 that moved, or 8.5 that moved to 10.5s and 11s. In a revenge angle with a line that's telling you everything you need to know. This is a spot you have to take advantage of here. You got to jump in. The water is fine. Well, it's not plus 10. Oops. Whoops. They opened up. They got everybody pounding on the road dog. Because guess what? They just beat them outright. Now you're going to give me 10? They're begging you to take Southern Utah. Look at that shit team. 1-5 in conference. Their only winners against Arlington. Now Arlington's 2-4. You know, they're not better from that degree. But if you play the latter game and recent opponent game, look, we just talked about Seattle and the challenges that Southern Utah had against Seattle when they played that little schedule spot there on the road. Well, UT Arlington just played Seattle, and they kicked the shit out of them. So, in all fairness, it's not overcomplicated here. 65-56, they were a 1 point favorite. They dumped them. Go time. Take that spot. Let's feel good about it. Let's move on. Let's cover some NBA. Let's get everybody rolling in the right direction. I got 2 spots here. 2 spots or 3 spots? Let me take a look. Let me consult BetStamp. Some of you guys know my BetStamp action better than I do. Just 2. Just a 2-pack. It's a little 2-pack Shakur. Okay. I'll talk to you about another one too. What the hell? I felt like this spot to me reminded me of this Washington Capitals spot. The Lakers and the Wizards, the Washington teams, should have done a fade parlay on Washington. All right. Let me get this. All right. Cooperate with me here. NBA, Lakers, 7 p.m. pop off here. Line started at 5.5. It's moved to 8.5. It's starting to see 9s. We have 72% of the bets and 59% of the cash on the Lake Show. The total's got reverse line movement. 226.5 dropped to 224. Now 223.5. 3 points of movement. Yet we have 81% of the bets and 80% of the cash on the over. I'll keep this one short. Washington sucks. They're just pure, absolute garbage. And the Lakers had a nice little winning streak going until they went into Philadelphia and got busted up by the hot city. Now, Rui Hachimura is probable. Anthony Davis is out. Yet the line's still moving because Washington stinks. I mean, let's just keep it short and sweet. Unbelievable to me. I couldn't believe it. 25 straight losses for the Wizards on the second leg of a back-to-back. 25 straight losses. 0-25. That goes back to March of 2023. So let's put that one on the scoreboard. Let's factor those guys in. But just like we talked about that Capitals and Ottawa spot there, we're not just going to stop at they don't win the back-to-back. Washington, situation. Well, I guess really the situation favors teams off a road favorite loss that went over and shot lights out. Lights out is defined by greater than 50.6%. You're a road favorite, you lost, the total went over, and you shot the lights out of the gym. Well, of course, you're selling high. 35-1 to the under if the total is less than a 228. 35-1 to the under. You lost as a favorite, it went over the number, and you shot the lights out. Can you repeat it? The answer is no. It's 35-1 to the under. So what I did here is I looked at this team and said, well, they stink on the second leg of a back-to-back. And I see the under starting to drop to this 223.5. So let me slap the two of these together at plus 149. Let's turn this thing into some plus money. Any objections? Anybody want to take the Wizards? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you can take the Wizards here. Rick J says Lakers first quarter. I agree. I agree. Nunny says, I have no NBA action. I'm all NCAA. Got to stay focused. All right. Morant. I believe Morant is out. I'll have to check. Ramon gave us the downgraded, right? He's downgraded to questionable, I thought. Rick J says, Braun triple-double is very probable tonight. Or possible tonight. Yeah. They're bad, dude. It's a bad team. Like I said, I just thought this was the best. You want to throw the 8.5 on there or even compromise somewhere in the middle. Throw a 4 or 5 on there. Minus adjusted line to a -5 with the 223.5. We just need this game to stay under. And that big 35-1 trend showing us the under makes a lot of sense. So Fernandez is glad I took the under 225 last night. There you go. Way to get that. All right. Kyle Kuzma double-double. Sprinkle. Nothing crazy. Don't. Go get him, Markel. Go get him. Don't bash me. Somebody in the industry said that they like capping with me unless I'm on the other side of them. Then I had to do some self-reflection. Am I an asshole when someone's on the other side? Maybe I am. Probably I am, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you like what you like. You like your sides. Stopped second guessing a long time ago. But hey, listen, everyone's got to make their own plays. Friends don't talk friends off at dogs. Rockets and Memphis, the game of the night. Probably the game of the month at this point. I don't get excited about NBA games very often, but this one I kind of jacked up about here. I got some CLV. How about me? Plus 2.5 moved to 3.5. Now we know the movement again is injury related, right? Lineup related, I guess I should say. 65% of the bets and 57% of the cash. It was 5, so it went from plus 2.5 all the way up to plus 5s. Shit, I even think I saw 6 with the price tag on it. Well, then they announced the Josh situation. It's come back to 3.5. So again, if you're just looking at the numbers for the first time, you're saying, well, man, there's like some bigger bets coming in on the other side, but that's not necessarily the case that's swaying the number. So just something to take note, right? We always talk about that U-shaped movement, and kind of the last leg of the U tends to be like the more sharper bet. Not the case, though, when you can describe it or define it based on injury analysis or lineup analysis. The total's gone from 236.5 down to 234.5. And we have 72% of the bets and 71% of the cash on the over. Again, the John news is the situation, right? As we look at the lineup, he's questionable. Flip side, Sangoon's questionable. Adams is questionable. Jabari Smith is still out for Houston. This is a TNT game. So you know my philosophy and my theorem with TNT games. We'll evaluate it. We'll debate it with the fellas later tonight. But look, this is a battle. This is a battle royale. And this one's exciting because it's two different styles. You have a run and gun team like Memphis that likes to run pace. They're scoring 123.3 points a game. And you have a Rockets team that likes to kind of stymie you and play possession and control. They're only allowing 108 points a game. So ultimately, who's going to prevail in this spot here. Therein lies the challenge. I mean, look, clearly that's what we're here for, right? The Rockets are second in the West. The Grizzlies are third in the West. I'm surprised that some of these guys would sit this game out because there are so many things on the line with these boys tonight. And there's the tweet. Razor Sharp Picks, talking about the 9 p.m. extravaganza. We'll be showing it on Kick. You know what that means. It means we'll all be watching it together. Let's go. The Rockets have won 4 in a row. They've won 8 of their last 10, and they're still priced ridiculously at that +5 price tag. So what's going to happen here is the defense not going to carry over. They're going to get busted up. I don't know. I'm looking at this thing thinking, well, I think Houston comes out there and picks up win number 5. In fact, by the trends, a couple trends consider. The Grizzlies have been playing unders. Their last 20 home games with rest advantage have gone to the under. 15-5 to the under. Now, I know that unders and favorites, I got it. Man, the total's been sailing under the number as well. 9 of the games have gone under by 10 or more points in that 15-5 sample. But we talked about the Rockets. The road Rockets particularly. They're 9-2-1 their last 12 road games when they have a rest disadvantage. They're 5-1-1 as a dog. They're shooting on the under as well, 6-1 when they're in the Houston dog spot. So we're probably going to see that defense prevail. Houston's covered the spread by 7 or more points in 5 of their 12-game road sample that I just talked about. They're 9-2 straight up. They're 9-2 against the spread. And their last 11 games when the total is greater than a 230. They're crushing opponents by almost double digits. They're 6-0 straight up. 5-1 against the spread in those spots out there. Probably where you're seeing I'm going with this thing here is I like it as money line spot. I think it's a really good opportunity for the money line on this thing here. They're averaging 130 points a game in that 5 spot. So you got a team that's shooting to the under in Memphis. You got a team that's playing in the rest disadvantage game going to the under in Houston. We're talking about their defense and their pace being what should dominate and dictate and dominate this game. And then you slap on the fact that there's a pretty large number on it, and Houston's coming out straight up in those spots. I got the 5. I'm good with 3.5 if that's all you can get right now. Good with 2. I think they're going to win this game outright. Probably going to get some type of action in there where I take the money line in the spot. Hey, you win some, you lose some on the CLV game, but I'm going to win some with this one here. I think Houston beats these guys up in their own building, disrespects them. And, for what it's worth, fuck Ja Morant. Because he fucked me on that New York Knicks game in Madison Square Garden. And I won't forget. I might forgive, but I won't forget Ja Morant and how he let me down in that spot there. And if you can't do it in Madison Square Garden on like a Friday night when the lights are bright, fuck you and your home court advantage. With all due respect. So that's it. That's how we're going to go to the... Yeah, look, coin says Ja's out. Yep. Then he says, you're just odd if you support Morant. You good baller, though. Yeah, he was a good baller. Juggler says something stinks in the line movement in this Grizzlies game. Pinnacle took the game off the board for a few minutes. Late Grizzly injury. Yeah, well, you guys are... I'm just catching up on the chat. Shout out to Grandma! Grandma Horse Racing gifted a sports money membership for us. Grandma, respect, salute. Cheers to you, Grandma. Thank you for blessing our action. Appreciate you, Grandma. Thank you so much. Arms reach, Grandma. Let's go. Appreciate you guys rocking with us here tonight. Shout out to Justin McKelvey giving us the old sports money is money, you guys. That's the slate. That's the card. I hope you guys get paid with me this evening. 9 p.m. We'll pop off. We'll go through some action. We'll get ready for this Rockets and Grizzlies game and see if we do get the game that we expect. See if we get the game that we deserve. Or do we just get the same bullshit they've been serving? That being said, I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door. On behalf of the whole Sports Money Network, appreciate you guys coming out here, checking us out tonight. Remember, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Ramon Scott, he's running so hot with the morning steam And look, Ramon's making a sacrifice here for the squad. 9 a.m. tomorrow. He's going to pop off at 7 a.m. Eastern on Saturday because the UFC stream will start at 9 a.m. So make sure you check my man out there. He's been firing. He gave us those winners this afternoon. We got winning action this afternoon already from Ramon Scott. And again, on behalf of the Sports Money crew, appreciate everybody. Good luck to you guys in your bets tonight. We will see you guys 9 p.m. We'll be over on Kick. Kick. Yeah, we got a Kick account. Yeah, Sports Money over on Kick. You guys can check us out there. I'll put a tweet out there with the link in there as well. Of course, you guys know that. Appreciate Randall Sheffield with the Sports Money membership, Grandma with the Sports Money membership, and Oldie getting that membership for 5 straight months now. Appreciate all you guys, man. On behalf of everybody, again, thank you guys. And we'll see you again real soon. In fact, we'll see you at 9. Enjoy your